Hey guys, it's Julia. Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be the much awaited titty Q&A. I'm a little bit over 1 month post-op. About a month ago I released my full surgery video in which I documented the whole process, and I opened up about my eating disorder story and how it stunted my growth and necessitated surgery. And before I start, I just want to say a huge thank you to all the love and support and the kindness that came from everybody who watched the video. I seriously was not expecting the just outpouring of love. I feel like the internet can become a dark place sometimes, and I didn't know that much love was capable of people. So needless to say, I was just completely overwhelmed and shocked by the amazing reception to that video, and I just wanted to say thank you so much. I'm so glad that my story could be helpful to people, and I knew that posting that video there were going to be a lot of questions that I would be very excited to answer. So today I'm going to be answering those. I will be doing a Q&A video answering some of the most popular questions that were asked on my last video, so I would definitely recommend watching that video first just to kind of get a context of everything. And I'll also be giving you like a little 1 month recovery update. I'm healing up quite well. They have dropped a lot from their original position. I just think they're looking better and better every day, and I really cannot wait until they're fully healed. I think they're gonna look so good. I wanted to be organized today, so I have all the questions and my notes typed up just so I can hit all the points I want to and try and not leave anything out. If I can find the comment that originally asked a question, I'll try and put it on screen, but a lot of these questions are things that multiple people asked. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this one, and without further ado, let's get into it. Probably the most frequently asked question was about the cost of the surgery. So many different people like DM'd or commented about this. The one that really stuck with me was somebody asking, I know it's probably a taboo thing to ask, but how much did the surgery cost? I wouldn't necessarily say that it's taboo to talk about the cost of cosmetic surgery, but from consulting with 5 different surgeons, what I've kind of learned is, but most surgeons don't like to have their rates online. And the more I thought about it, it makes total sense to me. You wouldn't really want a patient coming in expecting to pay $6,000 because they saw somebody else online pay that price at the same surgeon and then get really upset with you when their surgery is going to cost more than that because there's more things that have to be done, or maybe that surgery was done in like 2008 and now the rates are different. So out of respect for the 5 surgeons that I did consult with and the 11 surgeons I didn't, I won't share the exact quote that I got from each of them because I don't think that that's a helpful thing to base your perception on, but I will say that most of the quotes I got were from the $6,000 range to the $8,000 range. I would say anywhere from like 6.5K up to 9K would be a pretty standard rate for a very good quality breast augmentation, at least in my area, which is Orange County in Los Angeles. That's what I looked at. And there are certain things I truly believe you get what you pay for. Makeup is not like that. Surgery is. And I just really think that if you're going to do this, do it right. Invest in a quality surgery. I paid good money for these. I got good results. And I had a great experience because I saved up for it and I invested in myself and I invested in my safety. If you get anything from this video, please do not get botched for cheap. It's an important decision. But of course, there are different ways to make it affordable for you. I know that during summer, most surgeons offer like a summer special, sometimes $1,000 off or $500 off, depending on who it is. And that goes on year-round too. My doctor offers a student discount, which was awesome. Good quality doctors will offer some kind of patient financing thing where you can pay in installments instead. And a lot of them do low interest or interest-free as well. Bottom line though, if you see anywhere advertising a surgery for like less than, I would say, $4,000,
run.
The implants themselves cost the surgeon $2,000 to get. It doesn't even factor the surgeon's fee, the anesthesia fee, the OR fee, etc. They could be using counterfeit implants, they could be using God knows what. So yeah, invest in your safety. I would say anywhere from $6,000 to $8,000 is a pretty decent price to be paying for good quality. Next question up is, was it inpatient or outpatient surgery? Mine was outpatient. I believe most people's are outpatient. Basically what that means is that you aren't checked into a hospital, or you don't have to like stay overnight or anything in the hospital. You go into the hospital or the surgical facility where you're getting it done, and then you're out of there. You discharge and you get to go recover at home. Dr. Kelashadi did my surgery at Newport MIS. They are a really great surgical center with the kindest staff. Very safe, very, very kind staff, extremely professional even when I was freaking high out of my mind.
Oh my god, I'm so high.
Smell the pet.
I was actually very shocked with how quick the whole process was. Call time was 6 a.m. so I arrived at 6. My surgery was at 7:30. I was out of there by like 10:30, I want to say, and I was back home by 12. But yeah, especially because good surgeons will do it in a minimally invasive way. The recovery is really not too bad. You can do it at home. You do need someone to drive you home, but you don't need a caretaker. I would say just like get your mom to help you out, or in my case, my sister. Have one dedicated care person, but you don't need to like hire a nurse for the week. Even though it is a major surgery, it's not like a super high impact, like very invasive surgery. As far as recovery goes, it wasn't the roughest. Another really common question was, what do you wish you'd known beforehand? I really wish I'd known that the first week, no matter what, no matter how confident you are going into surgery, no matter how much you know that this is going to be the right decision for you, that first week is going to suck ass. Because I went into it with such optimism, like knowing this is gonna make me happier. I think the fact that I was so depressed after surgery and that it was hitting me so hard really was shocking to me. In those first few days, especially when it's the roughest, you are going to regret everything and anything. And since my video, I've talked to so many people who've had the same experience where they just were in a really dark place after surgery, like not knowing if they made the right decision, and then it just turns around like that. So even though I was told like it's gonna suck for a little bit and then it gets a lot better, I didn't really know that, I guess. I didn't really think that it would apply to me until it happened, and I was like, okay, yeah, makes sense. I think those feelings were a lot more intense for me just because I've had such a hard time with body image in the past, and I was really just not sure if I'd made the right decision. It can get sad and it can get dark a little bit, but then the sun comes back in, and I've never been happier in my life, so yeah. Okay, I'm gonna tackle one of the bigger questions. Keely asks, and of course a lot of other people ask this as well, what do you think about breast implant illness and were you worried about it? So as you can tell by this thickums folder right here, I did a lot of research before surgery. I'd heard about this so-called breast implant illness as a possible complication months before I even decided that this would be the right thing for me. I watched multiple videos on it, most prominently Carissa Pukas's video. I think that was the biggest one. I also read multiple medical papers and research papers on it. So I will link all the reputable and relevant sources in the description box so you can do your own research, because I think that's just a huge responsibility as a patient or as anybody looking into the medical community, is just to do your due diligence and really make sure that you have the facts and you're not just repeating talking points. Patient education is super important to me, and thankfully it was important to my doctor as well. And I have my notes here. So first of all, from what I can tell, breast implant illness is not this vague, unnamed illness. It's not a disease that hasn't been given a name yet by the medical community. It's basically capsular contracture with autoimmune symptoms. Something I really didn't like about all the BII videos that I watched were people using the term scar tissue to describe capsules. I guess yes, in the technical term, it is scar tissues. Scar tissue in this context is not a bad thing. Whenever you have an implant in your body, for example, like a pacemaker or anything foreign inserted into the body, your body will form a capsule around it to protect the thing. I think calling it scar tissue is a really misleading term because scar has a really negative connotation. I just think that a lot of the language surrounding this thing is definitely very biased. And capsular contracture is a known complication. It is greatly reduced depending on the kind of safety techniques your surgeon uses. Dr. Kelatati uses the no-touch technique. They make a very small incision and they use a funnel to push the implant into your body. Nobody ever touches the implant, and that greatly reduces the risk of any kind of infection. I believe my video also came out around the time the whole Allergan discontinuation happened. There was a lot of fear-mongering and just like uneasiness around textured implants themselves. Personally, for me, my doctor uses implants from Sientra only, and they do have the lowest rate of capsular contracture, so I felt safe regarding that, but also regarding anaplastic large cell lymphoma. Of the 500 or so cases of ALCL, over 450 of them were attributed to the implants that were discontinued that a lot of good surgeons don't even use in their practices. And the brand that makes mine were attributed to like one of those cases. Just in doing my research, I felt a lot safer knowing that I was an educated consumer and patient, that I'd done my due diligence and knew that yes, things could go wrong. And honestly, I feel for these women who've been sharing their stories because I truly believe that a lot of them probably got their surgeries done when they were very young, and they had surgeons who didn't take the time to tell them that yes, things can go wrong. When I'm a surgeon in the future practicing whatever specialty I decide to practice, I will make sure that whenever I operate on somebody, they know what they're getting into and they know what can go wrong. Because I think that's just a responsibility. And I was fortunate enough that Dr. K sat me down for like an hour and talked about literally everything that could go wrong. At first it made me feel like overwhelmed, but everything was explained, and with the research I'd done, I knew that I was going into something as safely as possible and as educated as possible. So regarding BII as a whole, I do believe that there are some people who have suffered from capsular contracture with autoimmune symptoms, and I also believe there are some people who have had their implants removed unnecessarily because they were suffering from something else and they believed that it was their implants causing it. And just like with any kind of medical phenomenon, I believe there is some amount of truth hidden behind a lot of misinformation and fear-mongering. So to answer the question, yes, I was aware of BII, and no, I wasn't worried about it because I made sure I knew everything about it, everything that could go wrong, and I believed and I still believe that I'm safe. I will, of course, keep an eye out and make sure that I still stay healthy, but the most powerful thing you can do is go into any situation with full education about it, and she did that. And then another question from Teely also asks, also when can you start working out? So as of today, I'm about a month and a week out from surgery. At my 1 month checkup, I was cleared to start working out again and like start doing the things I was doing before surgery. I did start walking like a few days after surgery. You really want to take it easy for those first few days, but it is good to walk around your house just to get your circulation going. And then I started like walking around my neighborhood. I do personal train at my gym, so I would be going to the gym, training somebody there, and then me myself, I'd be walking very, very, very slowly on the treadmill, and then sometimes doing like couple squats every now and then, but nothing with weights. You don't want to lift anything above 10 pounds. Basically, you just don't want to get your heart rate going. So I was very excited when I was cleared to start working out again because it's just a huge part of relieving stress for me and just making me feel strong and happy. But even now, out of choice, I'm still kind of taking it a little bit easier than I was beforehand. I'm back doing arm workouts, I'm back doing HIIT cardio, I'm back doing legs and abs, but I'm using lower weights and I'm adjusting the movements I'm doing just to kind of work myself back in there. So I'm slowly trying to gain back strength. I'm not trying to just overwhelm my body because I had surgery a month ago. And then at 6 weeks, you are considered technically like healed and you can start doing what you were doing beforehand. But again, it's to your taste and to your comfort zone. And for me, I just feel a little bit more comfortable right now, still taking it a little bit easier than I was before. You have to make sure you're wearing a supportive bra, so like not this, and don't do any strenuous chest workouts. So I'm not doing push-ups anymore, which honestly, not mad about it. Don't like push-ups. Next question is from Alex K, and she asks, are there any other plastic surgeries you'd consider getting? Yes, actually, I have considered getting rhinoplasty done. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do the boobs first or the nose. Ultimately, I did decide on getting my boobs done first because having a flat chest was giving me daily body dysmorphia, whereas my nose, I just like sometimes don't like how it looks. So completely like different reasonings for doing the surgeries doesn't mean either one of those reasons is less or more valid than another one. I'm not planning on doing anything super immediately right now. Like I'm pretty happy where I am, but down the line, I may or may not do rhinoplasty. I don't know. I've been looking into non-surgical nose jobs as well, where they use filler instead of like actually doing surgery to kind of even out your nose. So I've looked into that as well. But honestly, I'm really happy right now. I don't think I'm gonna do anything else. And I will be doing more augmentations in the future because you do have to switch out your implants every like 10 to 20 years, probably like 15 or 20 actually. That kind of leads me into another one of the questions, which was for how long do the implants last? I've seen ranges from like 10 to 20 years. Implants do not last for life. You do have to get them replaced. My implants are from Sientra and they, I don't know why I'm like poking my boobs for this. My implants come from Sientra and they do offer a warranty, so I have that. And also Dr. K offers cosmetic surgery insurance, which I did buy. So in case anything goes wrong, God forbid, I'm covered and we all Gucci. But yeah, in the future, I will go ahead and switch them out and get fresh implants. But 10 to 20 years, that's a long time. And I think I'm good with that. Next question is, what do you have to wear after surgery? I was personally very worried about this. I like Googled pictures of like surgical bras online and they're not cute. So some doctors do mandate a surgical bra. Mine was fine with just a very compressive sports bra. Dr. Kalashati actually has these like merch bras for Under Armour. That's what you saw me wearing in the video because he gives all his patients those to wear for the days after surgery. And that was just fine. Anything that's like high impact sports bra that like holds everything down will be great. For the first week, I just wore like nice compression bras that kept everything like held down. And then after that, I kind of switched out to like unlined bralettes. So like kind of this situation here. Basically, you're not supposed to wear any type of wire bra for a couple months, which like I'm fine with. I do not want to go back to wearing wired bras. Clothing wise, I would say just anything comfortable, honestly. To surgery, I wore like a sweatshirt with no bra underneath it, sweatpants, pretty much just anything that was easy to slip on and off. And then for the first couple days, you want to wear stuff that you don't have to like lift your arms super high to get onto your body. So now I'm able to like put on and take off shirts with no problem. So I would say just like for the first week, just be comfortable. Next question is, how many doctors did you visit and were your experiences very different between doctors? As I mentioned in the original video, I had a list of 11 doctors. I researched like pretty much every doctor in my area. I formulated a list of 11 doctors I thought could be good fits for me, and then I attended 5 different consultations. And each of those consultations was very different in terms of experience. 2 of the doctors I saw barely even like tried to talk to me or get to know me, which was a huge red flag for me. I think your surgeon should care about you as a person and not just like what they can do for your body and how much money they're gonna get off your titties. One of those even like brushed me off when I said I was pre-med and I was interested in like learning about the surgical side of it. They were just like, you're the patient, let me do my job. I was like, I want to know what's happening. That was an immediate no for me. Only one of the doctors I consulted with was female. I didn't really consider gender when I was making my decision, and I wasn't more comfortable with one gender than the other. The reason I went with Dr. Kalashati was that he was really the first one to like try and get to know me, to speak to me like an equal. He didn't treat me just like this patient who didn't know anything. He was very transparent with the risks and realities of it. I appreciated that because he wanted me to be informed about what I was doing. It's major surgery, and some of these doctors I saw were speaking about it like it was just as easy as getting a haircut. I went with Dr. K because he spent the most time with me, the most time getting to know me, the most time trying to make me feel comfortable. He's funny, he's sweet. A good doctor will like crack jokes with you and try to inject a little bit of levity into the conversation just to kind of make you feel a little bit lighter about this extremely important thing that you're doing. Some appointments I had lasted for like less than 30 minutes. I felt like they barely even took the time to like even look at my body. So like, why would I trust them with my body if they didn't even take the time to get to know who I was and what my situation was? It just so happened that I did go with the doctor on my list who was the most renowned and who was the most probably well known for his work. Seriously, every day I'm just extremely lucky that I was able to get such a good surgeon because again, I feel for people who don't have surgeons who try and make sure that they know everything that's going to happen. But I think it's hard to find somebody that you click with, and I was extremely lucky to have that. Again, I was treated like family, and I have such a respect for Dr. K because he's taken the time to really give me a lot of tips for my future medical career. And in that way, sort of mentor me and give me insight into what could possibly be an amazing thing for my future. So if you're wondering why I speak so highly of my doctor, it's because I'm very grateful to him, but also I admire him a lot. I think that we should, in such a time when there's a lot of like unfounded distrust in the medical world, it's very important to lift up doctors that I think are great. Next question is what type of implants you have. I answered most of this in the first video, but I'll kind of reiterate. So I went with silicone implants. They look a lot more natural than saline. These are silicone gummy implants. Rupture is not a very super common complication anymore. They're a lot more durable now. But in the past, the silicone implants that they used when they did rupture, they would leak silicone into the body. And then with like saline, if they rupture, saline comes out into the body. But gummy bear implants are solid on the inside, so they don't like leak into your body if they do rupture, which for the most part they don't. Like Dr. K's run over an implant with his car once. It was fine. Mine are from Sientra. They are the 250cc shaped implants, textured moderate plus profile. Basically what the moderate plus profile means is that the volume is like pretty equally distributed. So I get like a little bit more side boob and less like, but I think it looks more natural. The other types of implants include saline, round smooth, or round textured. And then shaped implants only come in textured because you don't want them to like move. So these will not like migrate throughout my body. So in terms of size, I think I went with a really good option. And technically this was the biggest I could go. But when I get my implants replaced in the future, I may go like slightly bigger if my skin has stretched enough to allow that. If not, I'm happy with this. Next question is from Amanda, and she asks, can you talk about the cultural differences regarded when looking at this procedure? I thought this was a very interesting question because as somebody who is biracial, I come from two different cultures where this is a very stigmatized thing. Let's be real though, plastic surgery is a very stigmatized thing in every culture. But just regarding my Asian side, plastic surgery is very common in Asia. It is a huge industry, especially in Korea, Japan, and China. But I feel like even though it is very common in Asia, it's a lot more of a stigmatized and judged thing within the Asian family unit. Honestly, I feel like a lot of the stigma behind it is more of a generational thing. Older generations of men and women also had cosmetic surgery at a high rate, and it was a common but more dangerous thing to do, and they never talked about it. It was a huge cultural taboo to talk about, and now that it is a safer industry and people are talking about it more, I feel like the judgment from older generations and the blowback behind it is so real. Younger people are doing it now and talking about it now. That is a safer and more innovative field. Like, I was completely shocked with the fact that there was a no-touch technique, the fact that they were able to fit an implant into such a small incision. And I think it's amazing that people nowadays are being open about the procedures they have, because it can be a very educational opportunity, but I think the judgment behind it is so real. And I didn't face a ton of judgment online, but I faced a lot of judgment in person from my family, particularly my father. Me and my mom are very close, and she was raised in a very just like traditional conservative Asian household. So when I first told her I was planning on doing this, she was completely against it. But probably the bravest thing she's ever done for me was having the courage to listen and to hear my side of the story. And I think the most courageous thing anybody can do is to have the courage to admit that they were wrong and change their mind, and she did that for me. So I was very thankful to get her support, and my sister's been amazing through all of this. And honestly, at a certain point, you just have to realize that you're doing this for yourself, and I couldn't be happier. With regards to like the cultural and familial stigma around this procedure, I think that kind of answers the question. But also, I feel like there's a huge stigma in the medical field as well about plastic surgery. I follow a lot of like medical accounts on Instagram, just like getting me excited about my future. I distinctly remember one time somebody reposted something from a plastic surgeon that said like, I love being a plastic surgeon because I get to help people and I get to save lives and I get to do amazing things. And I was just appalled by the comments on that from people either within the medical community or not inside the medical community, saying plastic surgery is not a legitimate form of medicine. It doesn't help people. It doesn't contribute anything valuable to society. That is so wrong. And I'm so glad that I've had the platform and the opportunity to make this series, because I think it's such an important thing to talk about. And that leads me into my next question, which is, have you considered becoming a plastic surgeon? And you'd think I would be, just judging by how passionate I've been about all the research and how much I've been immersed into this entire process and very interested in all of it. So I'll actually say, like, maybe. Choosing my specialty, especially right now, is so far removed from where I'm at right now, which is getting my freaking bachelor's degree. But it's in the realm of possibility, and I'm pretty mentally committed right now to neuro, so I can't make any promises, but I've thought about it. I think it can be a really amazing field in which you can help people. And if I do become a surgeon, I hope that I become a surgeon at a time where it's less controversial and where it's a less stigmatized thing. And I hope by the time I get my degree, the conversation around this has evolved and changed to a place that I can be proud of. Alright, and then to close off this video, I received a lot of questions related to eating disorders pertaining to recovery. And I'm not at a place where I'm super comfortable answering all of those. I'm so happy that me sharing my story in the way that I've been comfortable with it has helped people open up and feel comforted on their journey, because seeing people who have heard my story, which I used to be ashamed of, and saying that it's helped them in some way, like that's the most amazing thing. So most of the comments I've received from people who have been suffering from a similar story have been just so lovely and amazing, but there have been a few comments that have kind of stepped over the line. So I just want to say now, I'm so happy if I've been able to help you in some way, but please, I need people to stop messaging me with all their details, the intimate details of their situation, and expecting me to become their therapist or somebody to help save their life. If my story has helped you in some way, that's all I need to die happy, honestly. But I cannot physically, mentally, emotionally deal with the responsibility of being a mental health professional for somebody. I'm not qualified to give you advice. Please don't put that kind of responsibility on me or any other person online. It's just not a fair thing to do. I can't do anything to that. All I can say is please go see a professional. Therapy is not your enemy. Therapy can help you. Even though it might feel like it, you are safe there. They're not trying to hurt you. Please get better. I'm hoping and praying for you, but I physically and emotionally cannot handle the burden of being responsible for you and your safety. Don't expect YouTubers and online friends to bear that. With that being said, you are not a burden. You deserve happiness, and I wish the best for you, and I'm rooting for you. Yeah. Alright guys, that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed my little breast augmentation Q&A. I hope I've answered everyone's questions. I probably won't be doing a boob video for a little bit of time. I don't want this to become the boob channel. I will probably do another recovery update somewhere down the line. Probably like when I am able to go get measured and stuff. So there won't be another boob video for a little bit of time, but if you want to like keep following along and kind of see the process of recovery, my Instagram stories is the place to go. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed down below, and also follow me on Instagram to see the rest of my journey and other things like my face. Stay educated, stay informed, stay safe, stay happy, stay beautiful, stay dewy. Love you.